Hello, welcome to Euromonitor International podcast series. I'm Silvana Leon, Senior Communications Executive, and today I'm with three research analysts, Paula Goñi, Felipe Carreirao, and Carmen Silva, and we are going to discuss a bit about the recent piece named Megatrends Middle Class Reset in Latin America. We can start with you, Paula. Why is this subject so relevant for Latin America?
Latin America is the third most populated region in the world, 650 million people right now. But it's also one of the most unequal. Prior to the pandemic, higher education levels and the increased demand for unskilled workers in the service sectors were contributing factors in helping decrease inequality. This progress has no doubt been interrupted. Frustration and slow economic growth, lack of opportunity, and a discredited political class are increasingly on display in the election of populist or extremist presidents and in violent street protests across the region. Mass movements in Chile, Bolivia, Ecuador, Peru, and Colombia have caused serious disruption, while Peru, for example, has cycled through 5 presidents in 5 years. Youth, no doubt, feels especially disconnected from the political system and disenfranchised, believing that those in power do not really care to represent them. The social unrest across countries led to store looting, boycotts, and rioting in some cases, furthering inequality in the city areas that had been targeted.
Okay, so the situation is quite challenging in the region. What are the most effective strategies to tackle this scenario, Felipe?
The bottom of the pyramid consumers that are part of those households that earn less than $15,000 and are limited not only where and what they can buy, but also how they can pay. Those are more likely to prefer traditional channels where a personal relationship, so informal credit, with the shopkeeper is key. Buying in bulk is also out of the question. So companies that forge a customer relationship with the market sector through loyalty will reap the benefits of its economic progress. This is doubtlessly attractive since while the size and purchasing power of the population increases, part of the population that was at the base of the pyramid will migrate into the middle class. Income from wages in Latin America fell by 18% in 2020, compared with a global average of 10.7%. Therefore, frugal innovation is a must for companies to understand how to adapt their products and services to these price-sensitive customers, and also to understand the effects of the pandemic in the consumer expenditure in the region. So in this strategic briefing, we characterized the Latin American economic status along with the migration movements perceived over the last years, and also presented case studies on products and services focused on the lower levels of the socioeconomic pyramid.
How does this frugal innovation looks like in Latin America, Paula?
Latin America's traditional retailing outpaced various channels within modern grocery in 2020. Neighborhood small grocery retailers such as almacenes or bodegas saw increased sales due to reduced mobility and high local presence, as well as social factors encouraging consumption aimed at small business owners. For example, returnable and reusable glass bottles of carbonates like Coca-Cola or Pepsi offer are popular via these channels and growth surged as a result. Returnability can be used to attract value-seeking consumers in the region. Initiatives such as the one-bottle model in Chile support this as they make returnability convenient and easy. Companies focusing on streamlining their distribution strategies to support traditional channels will increase their chances of capturing this consumer. Wabi, a last-mile player owned by Coca-Cola, provides these traditional retailers with an opportunity to participate in the online channel by providing an easy-to-use selling platform. Another example is Marisa, a Brazil-based fashion retailer that launched the Sua Socia, I'm a Partner, an initiative that looks to allow users to generate extra income by making it possible for them to sell Marisa products online, also helping the company expand its own online presence. This initiative uses social media as a base, allowing for personalization and scalability.
After the pandemic, we are seeing a boom of e-commerce around the globe. Are those frugal innovation developments prepared for the new consumer needs?
Latin American countries have for a long time aimed on increasing bancarization rates. So Brazil and Chile have been by far the best case in the region, through leveraging the low-cost options. So in Chile, we have Cuenta Root that has reached almost 70% of the population and can be opened by children as young as 12. In Brazil, we have Pix, that is an instant payment system launched by the Brazilian Central Bank in November 2020, and that has provided consumers and businesses with an alternative payment method that charges low or even zero fees to carry out digital transactions without the use of any financial card. Pix can also be used for money transfers, bill payments, or even for the purchase of goods and services, and the transaction is completed instantly. Well, despite its recent launch, Pix has happily gained traction within the digitally savvy consumers and establishments seeking low-cost alternatives to traditional payment arrangements, and also is set to reshape the landscape of consumer digital payments in Brazil over the following years.
Thank you, Paula and Felipe, for your insights. Carmen, can you share with us some key takeaways about frugal innovation in Latin America?
Yes, of course. Well, after all that Paula and Felipe said about this, I would say the most important key takeaway is to understand the consumer profile. Consumers in Latin America will continue to be price sensitive and receptive to affordable products that answer their needs. So innovation on that segment must align with low-cost positioning. This growing group is more educated and has shown unattended needs and different behaviors that need to be understood yet. Key actions must be taken to engage through digital channels, especially with social networks and WhatsApp, to engage with this targeted consumer. Business models are also very important, including green actions, subscription models, and reusable packaging, calling to the consumer nostalgic about previous lifestyles. It is key also to increase payment method to be flexible, be it acceptance of cash or debit cards, to increase the reach and connection within the bottom of the pyramid and middle-class consumers looking to participate in the omnichannel experience, allowing greater access to competitive prices. Finally, I would say that different elements can be leveraged. Like frugal innovation goes way beyond prices. But that the company can make use of different elements, adapting their whole business model, increasing their channel coverage to reach the lower income consumer, or even launching product with added value or premium feature, but at a cheaper cost, all focused on the need and possibilities of a target consumer.
Carmen, Felipe, and Paula, thank you so much for joining us today, and thank you for listening to this podcast. Please remember that you can find all of our content, including more podcasts, videos, white papers, webinars, and articles on euromonitor.com/insights.